Welcome Capricorn, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your full moon in Libra April tarot card reading. I'm going to get started with your overall energy. The full moon in Libra occurs on April the 6th, a Wednesday, and it's about 9:30 on the west coast of the U.S., so your energy is the Knight of Pentacles. Capricorn, this is you building something. This is you putting the pieces of a plan together. This is you activating the plan and learning as you go. There's nothing concrete about the steps of this plan, of this thing. You know where you're going. You know your ultimate goal is security, stability, to build your wealth and prosperity, to create something that is useful to as many people as possible, that is anchored in reality. But you are questing for a variety of ways to achieve that. You've rarely let yourself go as far as you are going now. You're in a phase of working for yourself. And that doesn't mean that you run your own business, although it could. But you have customarily worked for others, perhaps in large organizations or small, perhaps in nonprofits or in profitable businesses. But you are allowing yourself to be the leader of your own experience. You're putting this together and you're utilizing all the wisdom that you've gained through your many experiences of labor. In the moon's energy, we have the Chariot. And this is lovely. This particularly is aligning with the area of your activity that's around your career, around your work, around your social identity, the way others see you. And my sense is that you are taking contradictions, conflicts, oppositions that have always existed in an area of this dimension of your life, in your career, in your working life. Maybe it is working for others for less money, and the difference of working for yourself for perhaps more control over your assets, more control over your labor. You're taking those different forces and you're asking for help, you're seeking the help from the various quarters that you are experienced with. Other people who have successfully built up this resource and ways that you admire or would like to pursue. And you're using that tension to focus your energy into a relatively rapid growth. And by rapid, for you Capricorn, that is so methodical and so procedural. Rapidly means really being able to make decisions quickly after slowly planning, researching, and taking incremental steps over a very long period. So what feels like this ability to bring together the resources that you've gathered and built into a successful pursuit of this goal feels very rapid. It feels as though the energies are being released by the universe on your behalf. There is a strong Mars and Saturn, your ruling planet, trine. And this is really helping you to build up the more feminine aspects, the receptivity of your experience, so that you are gathering the fruits of your labors from energy spent in the past. And you're really appreciating the skills that you have. You know your value, and that is part of what is guiding you and encouraging, inspiring you to continue to work in a way that you may not know what the outcome is going to be. But you are sure that it is going to feel good because you're feeling good in this pursuit right now. In the placement for the sun, we have the Five of Swords. And this is indicating to me part of the constraints that you are moving away from. You have been subject to various manner of self-sabotage in the past. And that self-sabotage came as a result of sincerely believing that you didn't have enough of what it took to get what you want, and not having enough, feeling inadequate in some critical ways also meant that you doubted yourself, that you didn't believe you were capable of, or more fundamentally, that you were deserving of more. So I see you having suffered with lack for long periods of time, believing that that was the best you could do. This feedback, a lot of this is conditioning, a lot of this is about the stories you were told about who you were and what you could do. You have recognized now that those stories are fundamentally wrong, that those stories are a reflection of those who delivered them to you, and that your conditioning, in fact, is only about the people that conditioned you, those forces, those social forces that defined you and labeled you in a certain way, that you are now discounting through the experience of your own employment, your own efforts, your own history of work, labor, and excellence. You now know you're hardworking. You now know you're a perfectionist. You now know that whatever it takes to accomplish a task, you will do it. It may take a while, but you'll get there. And the coalescing of this sense of self, this sense of deservedness, and envisioning something that you always believed someone else had to give you, a job, an employment, a project, an objective, that you were simply a drone within, has been overturned. You now recognize that those obstacles, those blocks, were only perceived because you believed them. You no longer are believing that. You are instead picking and choosing your battles so that you can apply your talents to breaking through and being successful. In the present, we have the Nine of Pentacles. As a Capricorn, this is one of my favorite cards. The Nine of Pentacles is showing you doing along the way the very thing that is your goal. That is your independence, particularly your material independence, your ability to experience, enjoy, find pleasure in those resources you've developed for yourself, that abundance that you have engaged in your own self environment, where you have individuated and recognized your uniqueness and your value, so that you are in a position to invest in yourself, invest in others, without jeopardizing your stability, your abundance. This is a beautiful card of not only being independent, but enjoying that, enjoying every step in the process. Now that you know you have what it takes to build whatever it is you want. And that experience, that knowledge, that ability to work yourself to the bone, to do something until it's right, is serving you now. You're enjoying it, you're valuing it. And so this is a card in a kind of culmination of your long efforts. In the past, we have the Three of Wands. And this is where you began to put this project together for yourself. You allowed yourself to be inspired by what it was that you have already succeeded in. Those areas in your life where you may have felt a sense of limitation, but you have picked up skills along the way, so that you are confident in what you know, what you can do, and you see a vast horizon before you. You understand that there is a need for what you can do and who you are, and you are busy being creative with the ways in which you can supply. You can meet that demand, and you can be creative in looking at ways that you can build up this resource, build up your skills, create a business and a team, a project that allows you to bring your talents along with the talents of others, to make those connections, to network, to find those resources afield, and to grow and expand into new unknown territory. In the future, we have the Six of Cups. I'm seeing a kind of a return through this effort, through these realizations of your value and your ability to build and grow something. Returning you to a talent, a skill, a relationship, an environment that you once experienced with pleasure, with joy, and with considerable gifts and talents. This was labor, love that came easy. This was work and creative work, talent that in which your effort, your ability to engage was effortless. Not only was it effortless, it was without judgment or expectation, and it was pleasurable. It lit you up. It allowed you to be in alignment with your natural gifts. And this is something that may be a connection that is helping you to envision the end of this successful project that you are creating as we speak. A recombination with forces, relationships, or experiences from your past in which you enjoyed pleasure, enlightenment, and a lightening up of energy. I'm going to clarify the Chariot in the position of the moon with the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. This is showing me that you have come to understand that a pattern of disappointment in your past is partially where you have been able to gain your affiliations, your tribes, your possibilities, recognizing this pattern, learning from this pattern of disappointments and failures. And my sense is that the work you've done in whatever capacity has never ultimately fulfilled you. There may have been broken contracts, stints of labor that didn't last, a kind of itinerant working history that never coalesced into an expectation of success or fulfillment for you. In recognizing that these efforts, these lessons, however you gained your skills or developed your mastery, were on purpose, were intended to help you develop this broader skill set that you now can engage not simply for the profit of others, but how you can manifest that for your own abundance, your own profit, your own growth and success. And this realization is having you consider your past and the possibilities for your future in a way that requires you to learn as much as you can in the moment, to mine your experiences objectively, and to identify the precise skills, habits, and efforts that you've made that can be recombined currently into this new successful independence. I'm also going to clarify the Nine of Pentacles in the present with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Mars trining Saturn, your ruling planet, is very much about underscoring your ability to receive the fruits of your efforts, to receive the rewards of even your failures, even your disappointments, to detach yourself from the powerful emotions you may have, including regret, sorrow, disappointment, heartache, and to recognize that these are all part of an unsuccessful pattern that can be altered, improved upon, and manifested into a success, into a way that you become the machine of resourcefulness, the ability to take what you have and use it, and then to become curious about the results, curious about the strategy that then you formulate to move to the next step. This is a whole way that you are mining your emotions. You are allowing yourself to let your emotions validate your experience, using that to objectify what it is that you want concretely. Understanding and accepting that you are an engine of generation, you're an engine of new ideas and of prosperity, not just of creating, but of receiving the rewards and the pleasure from those efforts. I hope this is resonating for you, Capricorn. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the love that I receive from you. And I'm pulling this oracle card, Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. I am so appreciative to you, Capricorn Collective, for this beautiful reading. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, Namaste.